You had a lot of people saying interesting stuff. You guys know how that Super Bowl media night works. It's a big scene. I saw Pete Schrager walking around with the microphone. I saw Jameis Winston working for Fox, doing some stuff with our digital side. It was all fun. And I did see one interesting thing from Pat Mahomes that we're going to start the show with. And I want to just talk quickly at large dynasties, okay? Yes, I could not stand the Patriots dynasty. You guys know that. I'm a Jets fan. But it wasn't just me that didn't like the Patriots. They were disliked around the league. Fans everywhere. Nobody liked them. Come on, how could you like a franchise that had an ornery coach? You know, Bill Belichick. Initially, people liked him, right? He got run off in Cleveland. He did make the playoffs there, but then he got run off, and it was like, oh, Belichick. Oh, that's a great story. Bill Belichick's back. And initially, people liked the Patriots. Tom Brady, a sixth-round pick, coming in for the #1 pick, the Drew Bledsoe and his massive contract, and Brady's a great underdog story. People loved the Patriots initially. Then they got dominant. The dynasty started rolling, and everybody was out on the Patriots. I can't stand them. And then you toss in Spygate, which was a real thing, guys. You can look it up. You can deny, oh, it was no big deal. Look it up. The facts are not great in Spygate. Then you had Deflategate, which was probably a little overblown. But at that point, people were so sick of the Patriots that they had become villains. Everybody nationwide rooted against the Patriots. It was Boston against the world, you know, and they kept the dynasty rolling. So enter the Kansas City Chiefs. And last night, Patrick Mahomes was asked, hey, man, you guys kind of are the villains now. And I'll get to that in a second. Now, listen, I have been vocal against the Chiefs on this show. I'm not a huge fan of this dynasty. However, I need to be honest with you guys. I'm going to keep it real. They're a likable team. Andy Reid. Who's more likable than Andy Reid? I mean, he looks like your neighbor. You're going on vacation. You go, hey, Andy, how you doing, bud? Hey, you know, he's got this jolly look, the big mustache. Hey, I'm going on vacation. Do you think you could, like, take out my trash cans and then bring them back in? Oh, yeah, no problem, Jay. I got that. That's how Andy, those are the vibes he gives off, right? You've seen the memes of like the Kool-Aid Man and Andy Reid. He looks like Santa Claus. Who doesn't like Andy Reid? Bill Belichick was this curmudgeon. He was angry at the podium, just unfriendly, not chatty, but wore that ratty hoodie with the holes in it, joked about social media without trying to be funny. Never cracked a smile. Like Andy Reid, much more likable than Belichick. Now, Tom Brady, obviously very likable, you know, cool guy. Ladies loved him. You wanted to be friends with him. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. And listen, I don't follow a ton of athletes on Instagram, but I follow Mahomes. He's a likable dude. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He seems like a normal guy, right? They're actually likable. So why are they villains? And again, I'm not calling them villains. I just don't really like their dominance. I'm ready for new teams. But if you watch how they play, they're a fun, good football team, right? They've got less fun since they lost Tyreek Hill, and they're a little less explosive. Teams started going to the 2 high safeties to take away the big plays, and then it's death by 7-yard Patrick Mahomes scrambles or Isaac Pacheco carries. The reason I'm out on them, and again, okay, this is maybe just me, is this whole referee thing. They get, and again, I'm not saying it's rigged, they do get a lot of calls. Every pivotal play involving a Chiefs game, guys, no lie, you're watching, the play ends and you're looking around, where's the flag? Where, is there a flag? Oh, no flag. Wow. It just feels like on every pivotal 3rd or 4th down play, somehow it goes the Chiefs' way. And I know everybody wants to say, hey, that's they're buttoned up. And guys, every good team is buttoned up. Okay, they've had coaching changes like the rest of the league at offensive coordinator. They've had guys shuffling on the offensive line, the defense. They've had a lot of changes. And this whole villain label is interesting because I'm going to be honest with you. If the Eagles pull this off, as I think they will, are the Chiefs still villains or are they only villains if they win? I just think it's good food for thought, and I thought that was fascinating from Patrick Mahomes last night. All right, now I want to pivot to the NBA, and this story I'm kind of sort of obsessed with. So not to give you too much of a peek behind the curtain, but our morning meeting, you know, they got all these stories that are percolating. I'll throw out an idea. People will bat around topics. Sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't. This one, oh, man, I love this story. All right, so we all know that the player empowerment era in the NBA has been going strong for 15-ish years. Quick history note, it didn't totally start with LeBron, although it kind of did. So LeBron, if you go back to, I believe it's 2006, beats up, or maybe 2007, beats the Detroit Pistons in that heroic series where he just goes nuclear, takes them down, gets the young Cavs to the finals. He basically, if you look at that Cavs roster, he dragged like the equivalent of my men's basketball team to the finals. They get swept by the Spurs, but it was LeBron against the world. And Danny Ainge in Boston saw that and very quickly realized, ain't nobody stopping LeBron. He's too good. This guy's about to take over the league. So the Celtics went out and got their own super team. They built the first super team. Let's bring on Kevin Garnett. We already got Pierce. Let's bring on Ray Allen. And they had the super team. They took down LeBron. So a couple years later, LeBron's like, shucks, Cavs can't build me a super team. I'm going to create my own super team. And he did that in Miami, ushering in the player empowerment era. And for about the last 15 years, NBA players around the league, hey, you know what? I kind of want to play with that superstar. Come on over. And, hey, owner, I want the max deal. And then 5 minutes later, I want out of here. The players controlled the league. They ran everything. It was all players teaming up, players calling the shots. The owners were kind of beholden to the superstars. It's a superstar league. A funny thing happened over the weekend, okay? Luka Doncic got traded. And the reaction was universally, who the hell trades Luka Doncic? It can't just be because the GM and Michael Finley, as assistant GM, thought that Luka was like, you know, fat and out of shape and didn't want to grind. You gotta run that by the owner, right? You can't just trade Luka Doncic. And it really shook up the league. And 24 hours later, guess what? De'Aaron Fox, he got shipped to San Antonio. Zach LaVine, who apparently wasn't going to get traded anywhere, he goes to Sacramento. Owners, it's almost like they've had it. They've had it with the player empowerment era. And I'm sure you guys have seen that movie, Captain Phillips, right? It has Tom Hanks as he's like, you know, the captain of a cargo liner. It gets overtaken by Somali pirates. And at one point in the movie, and you can go watch this on YouTube, you know, they're like, who's the captain? And Tom Hanks is like, I'm the captain. This is my ship. And this guy goes, no, look me in my eyes. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain. It feels like the owners are looking their star players in the eye and saying, no more player empowerment. I'm running the show. This is my show. I'm the billionaire now. And if Luka Doncic can get traded, shucks, anybody can get traded. Anybody can get traded. And I'll get you to the big name who's starting to percolate now in a second. But I bring up this player empowerment stuff because one of the guys in the morning meeting said something I just totally forgot about. So last year, the Timberwolves go to the conference finals. And I get all these guys on social media saying, Jason, stop with the Karl Anthony Towns to New York. It's not happening. I've been saying this for like 3 years. We knew he wanted to go to New York. And this guy made like a friendly bet with me on social media. I bet you he doesn't get traded. Now they went to the conference finals. And I was like, I'll just stick with my prediction, even though they went to the conference finals. Folks, did we forget? Minnesota was in the conference finals and just traded away their second best player. Now, why is that? Well, you could say they're not a great fit, but they went to the conference finals. It's because the owner didn't want to pay that luxury tax that they were going to be in for because Karl Anthony Towns' salary and Gobert and Anthony Edwards. It's like, holy cow. They traded away Karl Anthony Towns. And that was kind of glossed over at the time. But Dallas, the real reason that's coming out that they didn't want to pay Luka Doncic, they traded him. They didn't want to pay him $345 million because it's tough to build around one guy making that much money. As a side note, NFL owners, take note, quarterbacks, they're headed in this direction. You know it's happening. We saw it with Dak Prescott. He got paid. How'd the Mavericks do? How'd the Cowboys, the Cancun Cowboys, as I'm told they're called now, how did they do? So just file that away, NFL. What's happening in the NBA is these owners are like, these salaries are out of control. We're not winning paying all these guys all the money. Let's go trade Luka Doncic. And I'll wrap up with this because this is the other name that emerged here in the last 24 hours, and that's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was in Brooklyn, said, get me the hell out of here. I'd like to go to Phoenix. Okay, yes, Kevin, we got you. We'll let you go to Phoenix. And Kevin Durant is now sitting in Phoenix. Everybody's waiting for Bradley Beal to get traded, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And as a result, Phoenix sitting 10th in the West, they could miss the playoffs, miss the play-in. And all of a sudden, we're starting to hear, oh, everybody's calling about Kevin Durant. And you have to, if you're the young owner in Phoenix. How do we get better? We might have to trade Kevin Durant. We might have to get off our second best player because you know what? We can't miss the playoffs and pay a massive luxury tax bill because of the salaries. You guys remember when Ohtani went to the Dodgers? They paid all of the money. It was like, oh my God, how can they afford this? Kind of worked out well, didn't it? They won the World Series. Merch sales through the roof, ticket sales spiking. They're printing money now, the Dodgers, by spending money. And I wonder, did the Lakers make this move? Hey, we are set up for the future, but we just got Luka, an international superstar that's going to open a gateway to Europe for us financially. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the reports. The Dallas Mavericks social media accounts were just hemorrhaging followers, tens of thousands. I saw a report, hundreds of thousands of followers. I don't know if it's official. They lost a lot of followers because they're out on, they traded Luka.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.